Now I want to continue to what I've said during the question and answer sessions on the topics pertaining to the Dhamma. Like what has been mentioned earlier, most of the time our mind always longing for Dhamma, and it is very entertaining to listen to different speakers who have Dhamma in different perspectives that will broaden our views and understanding of the Dhamma. And there is only we call it a very basic level of understanding. And after understanding all this kind of thoughts, talks and readings of books, it doesn't mean that we have already knew the Dhamma or we have understand. And in fact, sometimes we thought that we understand. Understand what? The true understanding is to understand one's own defilements, one's own greed, one's own hatred, and delusional state of mind. This is a real understanding. This is something everybody got to work very hard, right? Got to be very mindful in what is happening in this path of purifications of our own mind. It's not something that watch the mind, everybody is watching the mind. Yeah, you're watching our mind. Who is not watching your mind? Watching what kind of mind? And the mind state is happening. And because every day we are engaging in our daily life, and we have encountered circumstances that's happening in our daily life. And most of the time, what happened to our practice? What happened to the practice? We're supposed to be mindful, supposed to be applying the Dhamma of what we have heard, we have learned. But when we come to real life engagement, we say the hands-on combat. I like to use hands-on combat, or the first contact through your eyes. When you see things, to your ear, you hear things, your nose smell things, your tongue, your taste bud, your bodily feelings. What is going to happen next? You have this feeling arising within yourself. Your liking and disliking, right? This is something you cannot deny. Now, and most of the time, we are under the influence of great hatred delusions. And we got trapped up in this kind of circumstances. This is the first hurdle we must clear. And most of the time we got trapped. For example, anger or craving or hatreds or jealousy state of mind. We got trapped. How can we say we are trapped? We can see these emotions that is triggering, surfacing up in our mind. And how you feel? You feel not happy at all. We don't feel good at all. We are not happy. So from here we can see how sensitive we got to be, so observant to apply our mindfulness in our daily life. And that's not enough if you don't meditate. A lot of people say, I just maintain mindfulness will do, and I watch my mind. I say, you have been watching your mind all this while. Who say you don't watch your mind? But the problem is you watch your mind, but how come you still commit the same old mistake? Why? Don't you know already? Everybody know already, but why? Right? Why there's no handbrake, no brake? This is something everybody won't deny that, oh yeah, it's true. It's true. Now my next question is, how are you going to handle it? Right? That's my solutions. That's why when we talk about mindfulness, you are able to arrest and able to say no. This is something unwholesome. This is something forbidden. Then we say we exercise our self-control over it. Right? It is through this self-control or self-restraint of reframing ourselves from committing things that is forbidden. Then we will feel what? We will feel that kind of gladness, peace that arises. And when you meditate, there's no remorse. You don't feel guilty, conscious within yourself that, oh, I have done something unskillful again. I have done something not forbidden again in the trainings. That's why we talk about training the mind is a form of tug of war. I used to say is a training of tug of war, and it involves a lot of common sense. Right? Certain things we don't have to ask. Certain things just use a common sense, and we know what is right and what is wrong. And then we come to meditations and why it's so important to meditate. Close your eye, do long sitting. I use the word long sitting because if you have a lot of times, it's advisable to do long sitting. At least 1 hour, 2 hours, up to you, 3 hours, 4 hours, and be able to handle the feeling of pain. This is something a lot of people, again, always, when they encounter with this unpleasant feeling, they will say that, oh, it's okay, time's up, 45 minutes or 1 hour already. Ding, see, you don't need an alarm clock. When your body starts to get ache, automatically your mind will know you're going to finish already. You see, and you will never cross this hurdle. You got to, okay, today 5 minutes, and prolong again. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. This is how we build out the resistance. We build out this endurance within ourselves. We got to do it. And why we need all this kind of trainings? Because it reinforces your faith. It reinforces your confidence in the trainings, in the practice of meditations, of something that you can do it by yourself, experience it by yourself, and you see the confidence and the faith that arises within your own mind, that you can really feel it. You just take a deep breath, you feel confident, you feel so relieved that, wow, and this is how our mind state, I use the word our mind state, our dull mind state, change to a mind state of encouragements. Your faith has been fortified because of your own effort, because of your own mindfulness training, concentration training, and your effort that you put in. This is something we say we got to have this kind of hands-on. It's very real, something you got to hands-on. You cannot just hoping that something good will happen. Just hope. No. You got to do it. We got to do it. The cultivation of mind is something that we hope. It's something you got to cultivate hands-on. After reading books, after listening to talks. And again, I used to mention that all these talk, that all the speakers, all this, whether they are monks or whether they are nuns or, experienced meditators who sacrifice their time to offer, to guide people in meditations, is to give a form of encouragement to the more junior practitioners who are inexperienced, to give them the kind of confidence. That's why we advise people to listen to the talk again and again, repeat it again and again. Maybe this time when you listen to the talk, you feel a bit lost. When people talk about 5 khandhas, you feel lost. What is 5 khandhas? What is that? And after you listen many, many times, you start to compare to your own mind state, your own mental mind state. Then you start to perceive, start to understand, start to see within yourself, oh yeah, okay, I know what he's trying to say. And it takes time. And don't get disheartened. A lot of people, they get disheartened when things don't come in the way they want it to be. They get disheartened. Or they have their own set of thinking that, Dhamma should be in this way. Then it's called Dhamma. But if Dhamma is expressed in an informal way, in a very plain language, that it can get across practitioners at large without using very deep language and people don't understand, right? We try to make it more simple, but simple language. We listen, we thought we understand. But in reality, we don't know. We can't achieve that. There are certain people, they say, that, why he keep repeating the same old thing? Can't he say something new? I say, yeah, the same old thing. But can you do it? Right? We can't even perform, can't even achieve what have been said. For example, people who can't sit for 1 hour, just go ahead for 1 hour and see how. See how that 1 hour feel. And that's training. That 1 hour or 2 hours of training, first thing what you encounter is what? Do you have the faith? You're cultivating your faith. You got to say that, okay, I want to prove that I'm faithful to the Buddha's teaching. I want to prove that we are dedicated to the trainings. Let's try it and sit and go through the process of sitting. Even though your mind may not gain concentration, may not calm down, but at the very least, you're training the folding of your legs, and you're experiencing the kind of feelings arising at a 2 hour, and the mind state that got boiled up, and you can witness for yourself how weak our mind is. They keep telling you, we don't have to do that. Why have we do it? Why have we got to torture ourselves? No. You see all this yelling. You're supposed to be very calm. You're supposed to be to say that you understand the Dhamma. And how come there's this kind of mind state happening within yourself? The body never say anything. Now who say now? If not the defilement. And how come when you're playing with your handphone, you can play for hours and hours, we don't see you complaining about backside ache or any bodily aching? Or your eye feels so tired, you will say that never mind, one more game. You see, you got to be very realistic about the whole thing and be able to do this kind of comparison to see that how come. It is through this kind of wise comparison in ourselves, then we can see the differences between why watching a television show, exciting show that we like, even how tired we will go through it, enduring, even your eyes is closing, and say that one more song. Right? And how come sitting in meditations, just 1 more hour, you keep yawning, hoping that keep opening your eyes after a while. Hey, only 3 minutes. Sit for a while. Hey, 5 minutes only. And then close your eye. Hey, 7 minutes. Oh, torturing. This is the kind of mind state. The mind that is full of doubts. The mind that cannot concentrate. The mind that doesn't achieve samadhi, doesn't have the joys for you to carry on. That's why you keep wanting to live. And some people might even have the kind of wrong view. Yeah, we can concentrate well because something we like, we can see. So we are practicing concentration. You know what they do? They watch television whole day. They can sit there. Now, my question, if watching television can make you realize Dhamma, then it's okay. But watching television doesn't make you realize Dhamma at all. The more you watch, the more craving you will have. The more emotional you'll be affected. And the more forgetful you will be. Because all your mental energy has been channeling externally to external things. Nothing pertaining to your mind. Nothing pertaining to your watching of your body. It's totally different. Let me tell you. So never misunderstood. Sometimes when people start to use their own analyzing, they say that, you're the one who said they can concentrate what? Take something like that, you can concentrate longer. In the end, they concentrate on external thing. Yeah, it's a form of concentration, but not what the Buddha taught about. Samma Samadhi. When the Buddha taught about Samma Samadhi is what? It's jhana training. It's vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekagata. It means being able to direct your mind to focus in the object of our meditations. Being able to focus there and be absorbed into that object of your breath or putto in order to achieve concentration, regardless of what state of concentration you can achieve. These are the type of concentration we are talking about. Not the concentration of watching a television show, a video show, or attending something or doing something externally. This is something externally. It is for people who know how to contemplate. After which, you're expert in being able to direct your mind to the object of concentration at will, and your mind can go into absorption fast. That means one snap, finger, pop, you are there. The mind doesn't wanders anymore. Then we say that your mind can keep calm. And that you need to have the proper conditions. Cause and condition. You got to create the conditions. And that is that you need to sit and meditate. All these are habit we cultivate for ourselves. It's habitual. And if a person who always cultivate a good habit of sitting in meditations, then you will find the kind of happiness. You can see the person's complexion, the kind of understanding is totally different. We're not comparing with other kind of trainings. People talking about meditations, doing other things. It's not wrong. It's called concentration, yes, but it's not what the Buddha's trainings of concentrations. And because why? The mind, the object is totally different. You're training for more attachment or you're training for less attachment, relinquishment of your great hatred and delusion on the craving side. You see? For example, if a person who do something externally, then he gains certain good result. He will keep wanting more. Right? It's just like your earning. You will keep wanting more. How to earn more. How to have more this and have more that. But of course, as a lay, it is not wrong, because if you live within this 5 precepts, this 5 precepts is the guidance, is the guiding. It's just like a fence, like this protecting fence in our home, or this house that have 4 walls to protect us. It's not wrong, and we can live comfortably. But as your training goes along, things will get more and more refined. See how this mind get more and more refined. Even a thought moments of certain greediness or craving, you won't let it pass, let it go easily. You will treat it and see how calm. Right? You will contemplate, you apply mindfulness, you contemplate on this issue. Why? How come there's a lapse? Since when? And because of this kind of persistent effort we are putting onto ourselves, our practice, then we can see that our practice will reap result. If we see that our mind come to a stall, not going forward anymore, we got to check it out. What's wrong? Or your mind start to get lazy, start to backtrack, doesn't want to meditate anymore, start to get very agitated, then something is wrong. This is how people being mindful will be able to detect their own weaknesses, because only you will know what is happening within your own mind. Nobody will know. So we detect this thing, then we go, okay. First thing, we recollect this 5 precepts. We recollect our lifestyle. Do we eat too much food? Do we talk too much? Or indulgent in sensual pleasure? And what are they? These are the things we got to self-check. And no one can do it for you except you yourself. And that is the training. That's why we talk about refrain. Self-control. It's not like everything is In this world, it's so easy. You just, never mind. Hell, break loose, do whatever you want. One hand you want to purify your mind, and one hand, on the other hand, you're doing things that contradict yourself, and it doesn't tally. So, but the most fundamental, the most basic thing for us to train is what? The precept, plus mindfulness training and concentration practice. This is something we got to put it in life first, right? We don't have to go so far, how to kill my defilement. Hold on. Go to the precept first. Be more realistic on the precept, mindfulness training, and concentration training. Get this thing get it started, and make it a habit until you can do it like long sitting and no problem. It takes years. Let me tell you, it's not going to take weeks or months. It takes years and years and years of persistent effort of trainings. Because why? Because, like I said earlier, lay people got a lot of commitment, responsibility to yourself and to your family people. It's not like an ordained monks, which you don't have to worry about anything. So with the kind of commitment and responsibility, you find that most of the time has been taken away. Most of the time. Even the time for you to consider things about yourself, sometimes also be taken away by your spouses, people in the families. They have some problem. You got to help them to think. You see how our time be taken away by other people and followed by some other resources. We got to be very, very frank and very honest to ourselves. That's why the Buddha advises us to stay alone. It's not say that you stay alone, you're selfish. No. Because it's by staying alone that you're able to detect, to see things more clearly about yourself. But if you hold the responsibility of more members of the peoples in your family members, then you see all your time will be taken away. And the resources, a lot of things. And that's why a lot of people find it so hard to practice. And we really sympathize with, because we are human beings. We have lived through this kind of lifestyle before. We come from a layman, and we see the setback of being a layman, and that's why we ordain for the practice. And that's why we know that it's so precious. I use the word precious for people who have been longing to listen to a live talks or attending a courses. So precious, because we know most of the time our time spent is not on the practice. It's mostly on the engagement of the affair concerning external things. So make the full use of your time available, and the opportunity arises, and never let it go. It is through this way you cultivate that you are able to restore your faith and confidence in the practice. It's just as someone who ever attained samadhi, the mind ever comes down before, even a one moment of thoughtless mind state. Thoughtless, I use the word thoughtless, no thought at all. So clear mind state. And some people, to us, it's a norm, so normal. But to the lay people, wow, they find it so refreshing that, I hope I can have this kind of mind state. So it doesn't mean that it's unattainable or you cannot reach, you cannot train. You may, because we are human beings. When the Buddha taught the Dhamma, he teach it to the human being. And the Buddha is teaching that human being can perform and can attain. You can practice, feel it, say it for yourself, experience it for yourself. Then it's something that we can achieve, the kind of confidence and faith that will fortify in our mind. So again, this practice of meditations, that I always say that it has been preserved and be encouraged since the Buddha's time until now. And all the great teachers in the past who has sacrifices their life in the practice and been able to impart from generation through generation and handed down these precious trainings and knowledge until today. And it is our duty as an individual Buddhist or human being on earth that this kind of training is very, very precious. So hard to have this human birth as a human being. So difficult. So hard is to hear the Dhamma. So hard to have a Sangha to appeal into society like now. And so hard for each and individual of you all to being able to connect with the Dhamma. If you were to look at this kind of, conditions, if you don't have this kind of collective karma, you won't participate, or even you participate, you won't click. Some people they have the kind of their own kind of mindset of the Dhamma, and they'll find that this kind of informal talk of the training, which is we base a lot on the training itself, they find that it's not refreshing for them. They are not interested. They want something, to reflect, which is not wrong. But our main aim of this kind of meditation retreat is to encourage, using the individual's personal practice of understanding in the breaking through, how they break through, how they put in the effort. And it's very rewarding, very promising, rewarding, and very satisfying, very encouraging, that will fortify our confidence and faith in the training that it's okay. Even we practice, sacrifice our life for the practice, we are willing. Because why? This kind of practice will reduce our birth in coming back to this, to be reborn again. It reduce. It don't increase. It reduce. When we talk about reduce, it means you can attain Sotapanna, the stream entry, or that means you come back 7 times. Sikitagami, Anakami. You don't come back up in the heavens. And Arahant, you never come back again. That's why when you talk about, is it worthwhile, someone said, there was a question, is it encourageable? Yes. Yes, why not? Human being has been sacrificing their life, going to war to conquer land. But this is not what the Buddha said. The Buddha said, conquer yourself. When the Buddha talk about conquering ourselves, it's what? Conquering our greed, hatred, and delusion in our mind. We cannot just read book and say, I have conquered, I have understand. No. When the person said you understand, you got to try it out. When your daily life engagement, you see, are you being able to maintain your mindfulness when you come in contact? And how this greed arises, are you being able to contain them? This is training. This is training. And we contemplate of the body. A lot of people will start to deny. They say, we don't want to, we are not up. You got to contemplate the body. When you find that your mind is too dull, nothing to do, you contemplate the body. Very often, contemplate the body into the impermanence of this body. Any part of the body, contemplate of the impermanence of the different parts of the body. In anicca, impermanent, dukkha, sufferings, and anatta, no self. And you keep going again and again and again and again. Every time you contemplate with a calm mind, you can see that the mind will be dispassionate, disenchanted. That means you just sick of this whole body existence. And a lot of things, a lot of craving they used to crave for will be reduced gradually, let me tell you. But if you don't contemplate, if you don't, then it's very hard. Because why? You don't see it. The minute you contemplate on the body, the impurity of the body, you can see the emotion, the kind of feeling in your mind, the kind of very strong attachment will start to getting more and more lighter. Your mind doesn't grip the heart like before. It start to loosen up. The more you contemplate, the more you find your mind is loosening up. And more sharper you see the withdrawal symptoms of your mind. Your mind start to withdraw inwardly until you come to a complete understanding of separation of mind and the body. Very sharp, very clearly. And the kind of knowledge arises is very, very rewarding. And you don't have to ask anyone when you experience it. You don't have to say that you let go or you say that I let go. You don't have to. The mind knows what to do. It's just why the cause and condition is very, very important. For a person, if you put in the wrong cause, you encourage the wrong thing, of course you're going to encourage more greed, more craving, more wanting, more attachments. But if you are contemplating on the anicca, impermanent, dukkha, suffering, and no self, the ugliness of the body, the impurity of the body, you see different, straight away different, how your mind detach. So again, for a person who seek for real happiness of the mind, we already have the Buddha's teaching very clearly explained in all the sutta. And it is our own, each individual duty to fulfill and put your heart and soul in the practice so as to achieve and be another witness for yourself, the unique witness of what the Buddha's teaching is in your mind, so that you don't feel regret or remorse that you can't do it or no one tell me. Not true. There's all these great teachers, speakers, practitioners. They've come forward out of compassion for all practitioners. They try to make it easy for people to understand so that it can help you to develop that kind of confidence and faith in the practice. And that's why we keep emphasizing, people keep repeating the same old things. Because you got to start with all this rough object first. When you can start with the rough object, being able to put in the right kinds of condition onto yourself in the practice, then you can see straight away. Gradually your mind start to calm down bit by bit. You start to contemplate the body. You see how the defilements start to subside. This crazy mind start to get not so furious. Last time very hot. Now start to get cool. Then you are doing right. Don't worry. Don't worry when your friends say that, hey, something wrong with you. How come you never associate anymore? Come and drink coffee. Come. Have some drinks. Come and have some this, some that. So you will know it's okay. But of course, when you disassociate, doesn't mean that you are antisocial. No. Because you want to spend more time with yourself, right? Being alone. And normally people at large who don't practice will take that, something wrong with you. After you practice Buddhism, you become antisocial, so cold, don't talk to people, and so forth. But it's okay. They have the right to say what they want to say. But we know that we are getting more happier, more relief. Don't have to listen to all this gossip of the world and all this thing that we know that is unwholesome. It's okay, no problem. But we still live in the society, but we know how to live wisely, skillfully, interacting people. We pick and choose. And this is how our practice will move forward. We mix with the kind of people who incline to the practice. And people who don't practice, of course, We're not going to talk so much because people don't understand. And especially meditation aspect. When you talk about meditation things, people who don't meditate, they'll say that you're mad. You're gone off the line. So remember, you only discuss within your group of people who practice meditation. You don't talk to outside people or to sell products or tell people to tell them how you feel, how happy, unless people ask you, approach you. Then we guide them a bit. But if you don't ask, that's okay. You practice yourself. This is what last time when I first was summoned by Ajahn Jeff to go to America, I keep refusing, don't want to go. Because I keep telling myself, I'm not ready, I'm not there to teach people, I want to practice meditation, I want to be alone, to stay alone, blah, blah, blah. Until Luang Pu Suwat, Tan Ajahn Suwat came to approach me in the forest in Mesop 3 consecutive years. 3 years, consecutive year, he approaches me. And on the 3rd year, he told me, I think you understand me wrongly, King. I said, why? I'm not asking you to go and teach people. I'm asking you to go and practice meditation in America. But if someone comes along and asks you a question, and if you are in the position to answer them, you understand, then you answer them. If not, you're still practicing your meditation, right? When I heard that, I said, sound very reasonable. Oh, okay. Okay, in that case, I go. That's why I'm there. That was 1990, 93, yep. No, 1996. Correct. 96, 97, 98. And the same thing, like I keep telling people, advising people that don't be in a hurry to teach people. Don't be in a hurry. It's better teach ourselves, handle ourselves properly first. Being able to handle our own greed, hatred, delusion, our own mind state first. Don't be in a hurry to lead people, to teach people, to give talk. No, don't. It was through our own practice that we are very confident that we are able to deliver it and see for ourselves, prove it to ourselves that we have been through the trainings and the attainment is within our heart. And then we say that, okay, we want to share. If there's someone want us to share, then we might share. If not, it's okay, we got nothing to lose. Then you won't say that, I'm a teacher to the student, or I'm no, nothing. You're just another practitioner, a more seasoned practitioner, more, experienced practitioner to share something. This is something we always put ourselves very low. But if you were to put ourselves, you are a teacher. You see how this attachment will come in. This ego will come in straight away. And of course, you need to have certain kind of authority to share. If you say that you are a teacher, then you always want to teach. You're always hoping how many students you have. And we always be happy when there's a lot of people coming, and you get very not so happy when the number is down. You keep checking. This is not the practice. Our practice is during Buddha's time, before the Buddhas attained Parinibbana, Subhadda, this old man, 80 years old man, come and approach the Buddha for training, for instructions. And the Buddha, only one person, the Buddha also give instruction. You look at our Buddha, our Lord Buddha, how he walk from point A to point B to teach us the Dhamma to the 5 bhikkhu. You see how far he walk. How far? And because of the compassionate heart, because of his purity, his compassionate enough that he walk. Even though he got all the psychic, he can fly, he walk. He walk to preach it to the Panchavaki, the 5 ascetic, that time there's no monk yet. And the first one to declare, to ordain as a monk under the Buddha's presence is Anya Kontanya after listening to the Dhammacakka Pavattana Sutta, the turning wheels of the Dhamma. So you see, our Lord Buddha, 5 persons, and every morning the Buddha will screen the world. If you were to read at the Sutta, you see how the Buddha, how compassionate he is. He will go and help only one person, he will go. So it's not the number, it's the kind of, we call it, the conditions, and people are interested. And of course, there are instances where the Buddha preaches to people by the thousands. There are instances. So all this has been recorded, and it's for us, the later generation, to reflect on, and not being carried away by the name and fame, stated and so forth. So it's very important. Sometimes we read sutta, sometimes we listen to talk, we reflect. Something we like or don't like, we listen first, or we reflect. We might learn something from this kind of reflection, from this kind of talks, so that we won't get carried away or neglected our duty that we're supposed to fulfill for ourselves. This is very important. Always remember, we are the own owner of our own actions, our own karma. Head to our action, head to our karma. Born of action, born of our karma. Related to action, to our karma. So whatever thing, good or bad, no dispute. Don't blame other people. Look, we are the one, the Buddha said, look at ourselves. We are the one to be blamed, not other people. Not this being or that beings. No, ourselves. We always got to look at ourselves and criticize ourselves. Look at ourselves, look at the weakness of ourselves. Of how come we are like that? Can we be better? How to be better? If we always synchronize within ourselves, then we will improve in the way we live, improve in the way we talk, improve in the way we think, the way we practice. And this is what we call cultivations of the mind. And that will be the sharing for tonight. I hope that this, I always like to talk to encourage people, encourage you all to practice more. And that ends my talk for tonight.
We all say sadhu together 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddha Bhagavantang Abhivademi. Bow. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhamma Namasami. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sankho Sanghang Namami. Sabbe Satta Sada Honto Davera Sukha Jivino Katam Punya Balamayang Sabbe Bhagi Bhavantu Te.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yeah, okay.
Sadhu.
Yep.
See you tomorrow at your group.
Okay, bye-bye. Good night, everyone.